Hello, and thanks for joining me for this look at the weather trends through the middle part of August. Yes, August, not autumn, although that is kind of how it'll feel over the next few days as we see a spell of unseasonably wet and windy weather, especially on Friday and Saturday. After that, well, there are signs the weather will calm down a little bit. It looks a bit drier through Sunday and Monday. There will still be a few showers around. And then beyond that, no sign of any hot spell of weather. Staying fairly changeable, it looks like, through next week, but there should at least be some sunshine, but generally things on the cool side. There's plenty going on then over the next 10 days, to say the least. It's sunshine and showers through the middle part of this week with low pressure controlling things, still bringing some heavy downpours across Scotland. And then there's a brief gap, a brief drier interlude, with Thursday being the driest day of the working week for many. But down to the southwest, this is where our attention is drawn at the moment. An area of low pressure really intensifying over the next 24 hours out in the Atlantic. Why is it intensifying? Well, it's because of the jet stream, that fast-moving ribbon of air high up in the atmosphere, just bending like this and really, as I say, intensifying this low pressure system. It then heads towards the UK as a deep feature, and these weather fronts spread the rain across the country on Thursday night and Friday. Some bright colours in there, some heavy downpours likely, 10 to 15 millimetres of rain quite widely. 30 millimetres in some places, maybe more over hills and with ground saturated after recent downpours. It could cause some problems. So we do have a yellow warning in force covering large swathes of the country for Thursday night and into Friday. And then the low pressure itself gets another bit of a kick actually through Friday night and into Saturday, and then the winds really develop on its southern flank. The isobars squeezing together there, so unseasonably gusty across a good part of England and Wales. On Saturday, gusts of wind widely inland up to 40 miles an hour and around coasts 50, 55 miles an hour, perhaps a bit more around some exposed coasts. Those kind of winds could certainly cause some travel disruption, maybe even bring down a few branches, and so there is a warning in force for those strong winds. And then further north, actually close to the area of low pressure, it's the fact that the winds are quite light and we could see some big thunderstorms that become slow moving, and that could also then exacerbate further flooding issues. So we have another warning in force for that. So yes, many warnings in force through Friday and Saturday, rain, wind and thunderstorms. Make sure you stay up to date with the very latest through the Met Office website or app. Now this is the 10-day trend, so let's look a little bit beyond the severe weather heading our way through the first part of the weekend, because the low pressure does clear away through Sunday. And high pressure close by doesn't come and sit right over us, it just kind of wafts a little ridge towards us, but that does offer something at least a little bit drier through Sunday, Monday and into Tuesday as well. Now let's just run through that sequence again, but this time showing the warmth of the air, because this low pressure system for the weekend, although it's bringing wet and windy weather, it's also bringing some warm air up from relatively far south. But that warm air gets moved away as the low moves away, and then on its backwards flank of it, it will introduce cooler air, the greener colours pushing south across the UK. So it should turn a little drier through the early part of next week. There'll still be some showers around, but not as many. The cooler air can't provide the intensity of the showers that the warmer air can. So there will still be some showers next week, but with lighter winds, it will be a little bit fresher and overall a bit drier than this week. What about beyond that? Well, there's some uncertainty, but that ridge of high pressure was fairly weak. It may not last. Another area of low pressure is set to then move in, and this is the most likely setup through the middle and latter stages of next week, with low pressure somewhere close to the northeast of the UK, high pressure out to the west. And that means the winds will be coming down from the north or the northwest, which means these numbers are suggesting how much cooler than average the temperatures will be. So something of a fresher feel through the latter part of next week. But notice this high pressure isn't too far away, and then there are signs that at the end of next week that high pressure may become the dominant feature, which would introduce a lot drier weather, but still we'll be getting the feed or the winds coming down from the northwest, so it's still going to be on the cool side if anything. So later next week, yes, likely to stay changeable, not completely dry. It doesn't look like we're going to see any spell of warm or sunny weather in particular, but overall, yes, it will be a little bit drier and brighter than it will be through the course of the next few days. Now, there are many warnings in force, so make sure you stay up to date with those, as I said, either through the app, the Met Office websites, or one of the best ways to keep up to date is to follow us on social media.